guys, it's Penguin Mila here today, and I'm going to be showing you the process for this video as well as talking about my digital art journey. Now, my digital art journey has been very young because I've only been doing digital art for about 5 months. And it started on the computer when I was trying to do digital art for cards that I was making, which is originally what my art Instagram account is actually for. So if you go to the very bottom, there are a lot of different card designs that I made. Anyway, so I started on the computer, and then I went to my phone because my brother had been doing a lot of digital art at that time too, and he was living in Arizona, so we were only talking through phone. And he told me about the art app he was using because he asked me for critiques a lot on his artwork because he knows I give honest critiques to the point where it probably makes him a little bit mad sometimes. Anyway, he gave me the app that he was using on his phone or tablet at the time, and it was called Artbook Pro. And so I decided to try to do some things, and I did a few things before this drawing, but this was my first actual big illustration. I didn't have a stylus, all I had was my phone, and I just used my finger, and it took days to do, but it was a lot of fun. And then after about a week, I believe, I actually got my iPad tablet, my nice big tablet. I've had a few tablets before, but I never used them for drawing. I mostly used them for writing or watching videos like any other kid would do with their tablet or playing video games. And so then this was my actual first work tablet type deal, so I don't really have any other apps on my tablet besides the ones that I need. And so then a few days later I was able to buy Procreate, and so that's all the artwork that you mostly see on my other platforms is done on Procreate. And this drawing, besides being my first big illustration using digital art, it's also a redraw. It was my second year redraw of my original drawing that I did Christmas break 2017. Now it's not exactly time for me to do this redraw again because last time I did it was in December, so around December I think, that way I can just showcase what I've learned through the year, because that is one of the reasons why I keep redrawing this idea that I have in my head. And a little bit more backstory on this drawing. As you see, it is a woman so far who has a branding on her body, and she has bright red hair, and so far it looks like she's tangled up in a blanket. So this character is actually a person that I call the Mistress of Demons, and she is a very symbolic character for me because when I first drew her, I was going through a pretty rough time emotionally and mentally because I had just spent a whole year over 1,000 miles away from all of my family and all of my friends and everything that I had known. I had moved around a lot, but I had never moved so far that I felt so isolated. So when we finally came back home for winter break, it was definitely a change because I knew I had changed, and I know my friends had changed, and I know my family had changed. So it was kind of a big deal to see everybody, but still I was going through a rough time when I knew we were gonna go back home to my new home, which is now where I live, which I am in a much better place. But I originally drew her because I just needed to get all of my dark emotions out, essentially, and she is a representation of light, and being a Mistress of Demons, her biggest weakness is being drawn to the darkness. So she will have her company taken up by dark things, but at the end of the day, she knows she is surrounded by goodness and by light, and that's what the symbols are being drawn on the walls here right now. I believe that the white symbols on the walls are good symbols, and then the red symbols that I continue to draw are symbols that I believe represent different demons. Now, I don't really want to dive too much into everybody's religious beliefs or non-religious beliefs, but just in this art piece, those symbols to me represent light and darkness, and she is the bridge between both, because she basically dances on the line of good and bad. And that's kind of my mental state at the time. Like, I kept being drawn in to dark thoughts, but I also had the light thoughts to help me fight in my mind. And so anyway, I drew it once, and then the next year around the same time, I was looking through a sketchbook and I refound her, and so I decided to redraw her because I knew I could do it better and I could bring forward my main idea for that character at the time. And then I left it alone, and then a year later, just around the same time, I decided I would draw her again, but I wanted to try it in a different medium. So I went on my phone and decided to find a different reference photo, because the last two ones were the same thing, just one looks a lot better than the other one. And then I drew her like this, and each one she has a different type of hair color, but it's always wild, and I liked that part about her, so I kept that. And the skin tone's kind of the same, so I kept that. And this time I didn't want to draw her face, because I feel like with this type of digital skill level I was at, I could not draw faces very well. So I didn't draw her face, I just drew her body. I drew her at an angle where you could not see her face. And then now you're seeing a person in the doorway, and that is the demon she is currently keeping company with. And so then for most of the rest of this drawing video, it's me focusing on shadows, because I was really interested in doing lighting for my digital art, because it was more of a struggle for me to do that in traditional art, and so now I could do it with ease. And I had a lot of fun actually doing the silhouette of the demon, because I was playing with light source, like where his light source was coming from. And I also wanted to talk about art growth in the sense of art classes. Not everybody takes art classes. There's a lot of artists who go from real life or are self-disciplined or use YouTube videos. I kind of have all of those meshed into one. I've taken art classes, nothing too extreme, just like the general art classes that are offered in like high school and elementary school, where they have it like as one of those rotation things, where you have PE one day, library the other day, and art class the next day. That's what it was at my elementary school. Anyway, so the main art classes I guess I took in high school were the animation art, like where we talked about anime and other animators like Disney and stuff, and we did a lot of history research about art and stuff like that. And then there was just the regular art class where we did all different types of mediums of projects. So we would do like, we did a whole few weeks on digital art, which I guess would originally have been my exploration, but we only did it for a few weeks and that was the only time. And then it jumped a few months or almost a year later, and that's when I really started doing it. And then other weeks we were doing probably watercolor, acrylic, and any other general thing that you see in an art class, unless you're taking a specific art class. And that art teacher was actually very helpful towards my art career, and I probably didn't give him the easiest time because of the mental and emotional state I was in, but still he was able to teach me a lot, and I'm very thankful for that. And after high school and everything, I haven't taken any further art classes. It would definitely be fun to, but right now my art classes come from YouTube and other art platforms that include Skillshare. Skillshare is pretty useful. I'm on the 2 free months right now, and I've been watching as many art videos as I can which have become very helpful, even just like not even hearing them but watching them, just seeing their technique and their styles is very helpful, and it gives me more ideas and inspires me to do other types of art. So the final thing that I wanted to talk about today is you guys. I am not just doing this for me and to grow my art style or skills. I am doing this so that I can maybe help other people or inspire somebody for their art. And that would be very, very special to me if I could help inspire other artists to pursue their dreams of doing their art. So help me to help you. Comment below or send me a message on my Instagram just telling me what you would like to see more of on my art channel or in my Instagram. If you guys want tutorials, if you guys want me to do more draw with you, just whatever you guys want to see, I am totally open to any suggestions as long as it's within my realm of capabilities. And also, just wanted to say that if you do like my art enough, I have a Redbubble where I design stickers, journals, pillows, clothes. Like, I make the patterns, I don't make the actual clothes. And you can buy that if you love my art enough to do so. That would be amazing. Then I have a Patreon in the works right now. If there is anybody who would like to see more personal rewards towards their support, but again, you do not have to financially support me. Your support through comments, through liking my things, through subscribing or following, that is the biggest and most special support that I could ask for, just for somebody to actually see my art is reward enough. And also, just a giant thank you to anybody who's watching this video here on YouTube. Thank you so much for watching the video. Thank you for possibly subscribing. You don't have to subscribe. Maybe even liking the video. Thank you so much. This end part of the video is just one giant thank you to anybody who sees my art. It really means a lot, and this is the very, very, very end of the video, so thank you so much for watching. I hope you like the art piece at the very end. Have a wonderful day.